Welcome everyone for another video in IGCSE Mathematics, Paper 4, Variant 2, February-March 2020, item numbers 7, 8, and 9. This is already my third video for this paper. If you haven't watched yet the first video, numbers 1 and 2, and the second video, numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6, I will be putting in the link or the card on top. Please take a look at those videos before or after you watch this video. Okay, let's move on to question number 7. Naga has n marbles. Panav has 3 times as many marbles as Naga. Naga loses 5 marbles and Panav buys 10 marbles. Together, they now have more than 100 marbles. Write down and solve an inequality in n. Okay. If you are trying to translate a word problem into an algebraic problem, you do it sentence by sentence. For example, Naga has n marbles, so Naga is equal to n. Panav has 3 times as many marbles as Naga. 3 times, how much is Naga? N. So 3 times n. So Panav has 3 times n. And then the third sentence says Naga loses 5 marbles and Panav buys 10 marbles. So there are 2 thoughts over here. First is Naga loses 5 marbles. Okay, so minus 5. And Panav buys 10 marbles. So I will just add 10 to the existing value of Panav, which is 3n. So plus 10. Together, they now have more than 105 marbles. So if I add n minus 5 and 3n plus 10, you have more than 105 marbles. Write down and solve an inequality in n. So this is already the inequality. Just basically simplify it. It will become 4n plus 5. Why 4n plus 5? Because 3n plus n is 4n. 10 minus 5 is 5, greater than 5, 105. So since it's greater than 105, okay, you move that 5 to solve the value of n. You move that 5 over there, so it will become 105 minus 5, or basically you are subtracting 5 to both sides of the inequality. So if I will subtract, I will have 4n is equal to 1 is greater than 100. Then I will just divide both sides by 4, so I can have n is greater than 25. So this is very important when you write your final answer. When in terms of inequality, okay, your final answer is also inequality, okay, except if there is something that says here, find the possible integers of this inequality, or possible whole number solution of the inequality. Okay, let's go to letter B. Y is inversely proportional to x squared. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 7.5. Find y when x is equal to 5. Okay. Always remember, when we say inversely proportional, we use this symbol. Okay. Y is inversely proportional. So 1 over, okay, which variable? It is x squared. Okay. So y is inversely proportional as x squared. If it is directly proportional, then this is y proportion sign, then x squared only. It's not supposed to be 1 over x squared. But in here, it says inversely proportional. So I have 1 over x squared. Next, I will change this to equation and change that 1 to k. So it will become y is equal now to k over x squared. After that, since I am given already the value of x, And if the value of x is 4, the y is 7.5, then I can change the y and the x here. Then it will become 7.5 is equal to k over 4 squared. And 4 squared is 16. Okay, I will just multiply that 16 to 7.5 there, so that I can find out the value of that k. So k now is equal to 120. After doing that, okay, since k is already 120, I can go back into the equation that I made a while ago and change that k with 120. Okay, now let's go into the question. Find y when x is equal to 5. So if you want to find y, change that x to 5. Okay, then solve for the value. 5 squared is 25. 120 divided by 125 is equivalent to 4.8. So the value of y is 4.8. You get 3 marks. Let's move on to letter C. Okay. For letter C, find the nth term of each sequence. Okay. 4, 2, 0, negative 2, negative 4. Okay. You will notice that it is a linear sequence. Why did I say it's linear sequence? Because you take a look at this. Okay. You'll have negative 2. Okay. And of course, when it is a linear sequence, I have a sub n is equal to dn plus a minus d. Actually, this is not the original equation for linear sequence, but you see, I will multiply d, the common difference, times the n. Okay, so I will just write the common difference and then put the n. So it will become negative 2n plus the difference between the first term and the common difference. So 4 minus negative 2 is equal to 6. Basically, I will just add that plus 6. Okay, or it can also be written as 6 minus 2n. Okay, next, let's move on to 1, 7, 17, 31, 49. Okay, this is actually a quadratic sequence. If I have a quadratic sequence like this, I have to know how to find out the A, how to find out the B, how to find out the C. Okay, the A will be found by, okay, taking a look at the common difference first. Okay, if you notice, there is no common difference yet, because A means second common difference divided by 2. So take a look at the second common difference. So I have 4 as the second common difference. Okay, the common difference now is 4. You just divide it by 2, you will get the value of the A. So A is equal to 4 divided by 2. So A is equal to 2. Okay, so it will now become 2n squared. Okay, and then next step is put in the original values 1, 7, 17, 31, and 49, and then find out what will become the value of 2n squared. Put it below those original numbers. So 2 times 1 squared is 2. Okay, 2 times 2 squared is 8. 2 times 3 squared is 18. 2 times 4 squared is 32. 2 times 5 squared is 50. After that, I will just subtract the original sequence by the sequence made by 2n squared. So I'll just subtract. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. 17 minus 18 is negative 1. 31 minus 32 is negative 1. 49 minus 50 is negative 1 as well. Okay, so you will notice that the sequence made by subtracting the original sequence and 2n squared, okay, are all negative 1. Okay, so it's not anymore a linear sequence, but there are problems that will give you linear sequence, so you will solve it just like letter I. Okay, but in this one, since it's only negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, and so on, okay, you will just put negative 1 beside 2n squared. Our answer for question letter C, number 2, is 2n squared minus 1. Let's move on to number 8. Okay, for question number 8, letter A. The diagram shows a quadrilateral PQRS formed from two triangles PQS and QRS. So you have two triangles here. This is the first triangle and this is the second triangle. Calculate QR. So QR first. How do we calculate QR? So this is QR. Okay. Remember, this is an oblique triangle. Okay. It's not an isosceles triangle. Okay, it is not a right triangle. Okay, it is an oblique triangle or a scalene triangle. Okay, and what we know is only SQ. Okay, and then we have angle S or RSQ, which is 25 degrees, and we have SRQ, which is 72 degrees. Okay, so how do we do this? We will be using the idea about sine rule. Okay, if we are going to use sine rule, remember that opposite sides, the ratio of the opposite side and angle, okay, or the sine of the angle, okay, so 25 and what we are looking for, so QR over sine 25 equals 6 to the opposite over sine 72. Okay, so basically you will use this one to find out QR. So QR now is equal to 6. Sine 25 will be moved there, so 6 times sine 25 then divided by 72. Okay, so it will become QR is equal to 2.67 centimeter. As easy as that, you will get 3 marks, which is 2.67 centimeter. Okay, next, PS. How to calculate PS? Okay, PS, we know that SQ is 6 centimeter, PQ is 7.4 centimeter, and then 34 degrees as an angle. So this is an angle opposite to the PS which we are looking for. And then we are given the two other sides. Okay, it's unlike first question. Okay, we are given two angles and then we are given one side. Here we are given two sides and an angle that is opposite to the side that we are looking for. So what you need to do here is to apply the cosine rule. So question number 2, cosine rule. And what is cosine rule? It is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine a. Okay, so it will be like this. So the a is ps, so ps squared. B and c can be interchanged, so this can be the b, this can be the c, or the other way around, as long as, okay, you write it properly. So 6 squared plus 7.4 squared, okay, minus 2bc. So 2 times 6 times 7.4, then cosine the angle opposite the one that you are looking for, which is 34. So cosine 34. Just plug it in into your calculator. Okay, oh, but before you plug it in, you have to square root both sides, because remember, this is in square. Okay, so if you want to remove that square, you square root both sides, you will get this. Okay, so PS is equivalent now to square root of 6.2 plus 6 squared plus 7.4 squared minus 2 times 6 times 7.4 times cosine 34. Just plug it in into your calculator, you will get 4.1402. Okay, but of course you have to write your answer into 3 significant figures, so PS is equivalent to 4.14 centimeter. Okay, as easy as that, you will get 3 marks. But you have to understand, okay, remember, how did I come up with using sine rule? Because opposite side and angle, side and angle, side and angle. So for first question, sine rule. For second question, I use cosine rule because I have two sides and an angle opposite to the side that we are looking for. So I'll just use cosine rule for that. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. The area of the quadrilateral PQRS. So PQRS. So the entire quadrilateral. Okay. What do you mean by quadrilateral again? Quadrilateral means four-sided polygon. So that is actually the quadrilateral that we are looking for. Now, if you want to find out the area of the quadrilateral, okay, it is not a trapezium, it is not a square, it is not a rectangle, it is not a kite, okay. So this is a scalene quadrilateral, which all the sides are not equal, so we cannot find out the height and all. So what we need to do is to apply, okay, our idea about area of triangle, since this quadrilateral is composed of two triangles. So since it is composed of two triangles, I will have the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 AB sine C. Okay, so recall of that one. Okay, area of the triangle 1/2 AB sine C can only be used if the two triangles, or the triangles that we have here, are oblique triangle. Of course, if you have a triangle that is right triangle, do not use this anymore. Instead, you will use the 1/2 base times height. Okay, but in these oblique triangles, you use this formula. Okay, so I'll find out the area of this triangle and I'll find out the area of this. What do we mean by AB? Okay, A and B are sides that are adjacent to angle C. Okay, you study first the first triangle QRS. Okay, if I want to find out the area of this, okay, I know that this is 72. I know that this is 25. Okay, I don't know the measurement of SR. Okay, if I will use the 72 as angle C, okay, I do not know SR. I know QR already with our solution in number 1. Okay, but I don't know SR, so I cannot use angle 72. If I will use 25, I cannot use also. Why? Because I don't know SR. So when we say adjacent sides, 25 adjacent sides here are this, okay, and this one. Okay, so I will not be using either 72 degrees and 25 degrees. Rather I will just compute for the other angle, which is 83. Okay, how did I come up with 83? 180 minus 72 minus 25, because the angles of a triangle sums up always to 180. Okay, so it's 83 degrees. So 83 degrees here, I have the adjacent sides 2.67 and 6 centimeter. So I will be using that. And then for this one, I have this 34. Adjacent sides are 6 centimeter and 7.4. So I will just plug it in. You will have the area of the quadrilateral, which is 1/2 times 2.67 times 6 times sine 83. Okay, and then you add with the area of PQS. So this triangle 1/2 times 7.4 times 6 times sine 34. Okay, plug it into your calculator. You will get 20.364. But of course, again, you have to write your answer into 3 significant figures. So your final answer will become 20.4. So the area of the quadrilateral now is 20.4 centimeter squared. Okay, let's move on to question letter B. The diagram shows an open box A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H in the shape of a cuboid. So a cuboid all the heights are the same, all the lengths are the same, and all the widths are the same. So if this is 18, this is also 18. If this is 20, this is also 20, this is also 20, this is also 20. Okay? If this is 16, of course, the height here is also 16, 16, and 16. Okay? Calculate gx, the length of the rod which is outside the box. But remember, okay, AB is equal to 20 centimeter, BC is equal to 18 centimeter, and AE is equal to 16 centimeter. Rod AGX rests partly in the box as shown. The rod is 40 centimeter long. So, if you're going to compute for that GX, okay, and you know that AX is 40 centimeter long, you need to find out what is the measurement of AG. So, if you are able to find out AG, you can just subtract that measurement to 40 centimeter, then you will get, or you will find out the length of GX. Okay? But prior to that, prior to computing the length of AG, okay, we have to know, okay, what is EG and what is EA. Okay, EA you already know. Where is that? EA is 16 centimeter, but we don't know the EG, so we have to put in the EG. Okay, so EG is there. If you want to know the measurement of that EG, you have to use also the Pythagoras theorem, which is EG squared. Okay, we'll have a right triangle over here, so I have to know what is HG. HG is the same as the length. Okay, so it's 20. EH is same as 18 centimeters, so it's also 18 centimeter. So we can find out the EG by EG squared is equal to 20 squared plus 18 squared. Okay, so you will just basically square root both sides so that you can remove that square on the EG there. Okay, square root both sides. To find out EG, just plug this in into your calculator. So square root of 20 centimeters squared, or 20 squared plus 18 squared. Okay, you will get an answer of 2 square root of 181. Okay, so that is EG. Actually, you can write the decimal number here that appears into your calculator. Okay, but since I got an exact value, 2 square root of 181, I will be using this. Okay, remember, this is not yet your final answer. That's why I am not rounding it off. Okay, so let's go. Okay, we know already EG, we know already EA. So to find out AG, you'll just use this formula or the Pythagoras theorem again. Why? Because if you see this figure is a right triangle with the right angle here. So AG is the hypotenuse. Okay, that's why it is AG squared equals EG squared plus EA squared. Okay, now AG squared is equal to 2 square root of 181 squared plus 16 squared. So find out AG by square rooting both sides. So square root, you'll have this. Plug this in into your calculator. Be careful in plugging in this one into your calculator, please. So AG is equal now to 14 square root of 5, which is equivalent to 14 square root of 5, which is equivalent to 31.3049. But of course, you'll see here, okay, GX is what we are computing for. So GX is equivalent to 40 minus 31 minus 3. Okay, so if you will subtract, you will get 8.7 as your answer. Okay, so 8.7 centimeter will be the measurement of GX. Okay, now let's move on to question number 2 of letter B, number 8. Okay, it says calculate the angle the rod makes with the base of the box. If you want to calculate the angle the rod makes with the base of the box, you have to show a line on the base of the box. Okay, so we will show that is line AC. Okay, and if you notice, if I have line AC over here, I can form a right triangle ACG or AGC. Okay, and then if I want to calculate that angle, I'm looking exactly for this angle because this is the base and this is the rod. Okay, the angle that it makes is this that I labeled. Okay, so let's try to put this right triangle into another form. Okay, so you know that GC is 16 centimeter and this one is 14 square root of 5. AG is 14 square root of 5. So let's put all those things in a right triangle there. Okay, so I have that. Okay, GC is 16 and then I have AG is 14 square root of 5 and I'm looking for that angle here. Okay, you will try to recall if you are working with right triangles. Okay, and then you are looking for an angle. You cannot use Pythagoras theorem because you are looking for angles. Okay, so the only option that you will have is to use SOHCAHTOA or the trigonometric functions, which are sine, cosine, and tangent. But it's very important, if you use sine, cosine, and tangent, you should know what sine theta is equivalent to, what cosine theta is equivalent to, and what tangent theta is equivalent to. And remember the position of the angle that you are looking for. If this is the angle you are looking for, this will be opposite. If this is the angle you're looking for, this part will be adjacent. And the angle opposite to the right angle is your hypotenuse. Okay, so this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. Okay, next. If you have opposite and hypotenuse, which will you use? Okay, they said SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so is sine is opposite and hypotenuse. Okay, ka means adjacent over hypotenuse. TOA means opposite over adjacent. But in here we have opposite and hypotenuse, so we will be using the sine function. So okay, opposite over hypotenuse will be equivalent to the sine of the angle. Okay, so it will be sine theta is equal to, the opposite is 16 centimeter, the hypotenuse is 14 square root of 5. So it will become sine theta is equal to 16 over 14 square root of 5. Therefore, our answer here is, when you put that one into sine inverse, the sine, because I am looking only for that angle. Okay, if I'll bring that to the right side, it will become sine inverse. The sine inverse will be sine inverse of 16 over 14 square root of 5 will be equivalent to 30.737 and so on. Okay, of course, you are dealing with angles, so you have to write this into 3 significant figures. So it will become 30.7 degrees. Okay, so 30.7 degrees is our answer. Okay, for letter B, number 2. Okay, next, let's move on to question number 9. This year, 40 students have each traveled by one or more of plane, train, or both. Okay? 7 have traveled only by plane. 11 have traveled only by train. 9 have traveled only by boat. Okay? So, we will just put in 7 there. Okay, and then 9. Okay, because they only traveled by plane, so only plane. This part is only train. This part is only boat. Okay, next, the intersection between P and T is equivalent to 8. P and T, so intersection is equivalent to 8, so this portion, okay, including the one on the center. Okay, the intersection between B and T, okay, this portion, okay, including the one on the center, is 3. Then the intersection between P and B, okay, will be this portion, including the center, will be 6. Okay, but do you know the value of the one on the center? So we don't know. So what do? I have to make that x. Okay, because we don't know, we don't have any idea, but we have an idea that this x plus this is equivalent to 8, x plus this is equal to 3, x plus this is equal to 6. Okay, so therefore I will just put in 8 minus x, 3 minus x, then 6 minus x. Okay, and then, okay, remember that I have a total of 40 students. I will just minus 7, 11, and 9. Okay, so 40 minus 7 minus 11 minus 9 will give you 13. So total of this, and this will give you 13. So you'll just add everything, 8 minus x, 6 minus x, 3 minus x, and x. You add them all together is equal to 13. We will just combine similar terms on the same side of the equation. So it will become x plus x minus x is equal to x plus 6 plus 3 minus 13. Because we move negative x, okay, plus x, okay, then negative x will become plus x, negative x will become plus x, positive x will become negative x. Then we move the 13 to the right side, it will become negative 13. Okay, x plus x minus x will become 2x. 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 3 is 17, minus 13 is 4. So it will become 2x is equal to 4. We will just divide both sides by 2 to come up with the value of the x, which is 2. Okay, so we can now change that value of x with 2. Okay, if the x is 2, 8 minus 2 is equivalent to 6. And 6 minus 2 is equivalent to 4. 3 minus 2 is equivalent to 1. So this is now the complete Venn diagram that we have. Okay, next, find the number of, okay, not, so you will see the symbol not there, not the union of P and B. So P and B is this. Union meaning everything that is on B and on P. Okay, so I have 7, 6, 2, 4, 9, and 1. But since there is a not there, I am not going to consider that, so I will cross those things out. So what will be left behind will be 11. So our answer for letter B is 11. Let's move on to letter C. Use set notation to complete the statement. So if I want to complete this statement, okay, set notation. Okay, you see the union of P, T, U, and B. So the union of P, T, and B. But again, there is a not. So what will be that one? Okay, so everything was removed. Therefore, it has nothing. Okay, when we say it has nothing, we represent that in set notation as this, empty set. This represents empty set. Okay, or you can just write this one. Okay, a bracket, a curly bracket without anything inside means empty set. Okay, so that's how you write your answer for letter C. Okay, let's move on to number 9, letter D. 2 students are chosen at random. Okay, so we will be choosing two students at random. Calculate the probability that they both have traveled only by plane. Okay, so if I will only choose from those who traveled by plane only, I am not going to consider 6, 2, and 4. Okay, I'm not going to consider 6, 2 and 4. Why? Because they should only travel by plane. Okay? Because this 6 students are traveling both by plane and train. 4 students are traveling both by plane and boat. Okay? And 2 students are traveling with all the 3 mode of transportation. So I am only going to consider that 7. Okay? So it will become 7 over 40. Okay, I've chosen 1. After choosing 1, I will remove 1 from those 7 students. So it will become 6. And then I will remove also 1 from the total number of students. So it will become 39. So it will just become 6 over 39. So you will just multiply, basically multiply this 7 times 6 and then times 40 and 39. Okay, 7 times 6 is 42. 40 times 39 is 1560. Okay, if you want your answer to be 42 over 1560, that can be okay. Or you want to simplify it to become 7 over 260, then just simplify it. Okay, but Mr. Mars, will I get the mark if I will just write 42 over 1560? Yes. Okay, you will get 2 marks for that. Okay, let's move on to letter E. 2 students are chosen at random from those who have traveled by train. Traveled by plane. So 11, 6, 2, and 1. Traveled by plane, huh? Okay, it didn't say traveled only by train. Okay, now calculate the probability that they both have also traveled by plane. Traveled by plane. Okay, they both have traveled by plane. So 6 and 2. Okay, can also travel by plane. Okay, so I have 8 students who traveled both by plane and train. Okay, 8 out of how many? 11. 6 is 17 plus 2 is 19 plus 1 is 20. So 8 out of 20. Then I have chosen already one of those students, so I will just subtract 1. So it will become 7 over 19. Multiply, you will get 56 over 380. So our answer here is 14 over 95 or 56 over 380. Okay, that's the end of our discussion. Thank you. Happy learning to everyone. I hope you have learned something in watching this video. Okay, I will be making the video for numbers 10 and 11 for the next video that I'm going to upload. So please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please like this video if you have learned something today in watching this video. Thank you very much. God bless everyone.